Since taking office in 2012, Governor Phil Bryant has championed Mississippi and its businesses with unbridled fervor. Governor Bryant has led our state to great economic success, implementing transformational public education reforms, enhancing transportation infrastructure, and building a competitive business climate that has attracted major companies to the Magnolia State while encouraging existing companies to expand. Under Governor Bryant's leadership, more than 36,000 new jobs have been announced. Mississippi's GDP and per capita income have grown nearly 12%. There have been $7.4 billion in new corporate investments, 232 business expansions, and 100 new companies choosing to call Mississippi home. These milestones, along with historically low unemployment rates and high school graduation rate of 84%, illustrate how Mississippi under Governor Bryant means business. MEC salutes the dedication and passion that Governor Phil Bryant and First Lady Deborah Bryant have shown to our state for the past 8 years. And to them we say, thank you for a job well done. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 64th Governor of the great state of Mississippi, Phil Bryant.
Well, good afternoon. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know you needed that stretch. It's amazing to think how quickly time has passed. Almost 8 years now. And Deborah and I began on this journey. I'm sorry she's not here today. She had made a promise to be in Raleigh, Mississippi, and you know Deborah, she keeps a promise. She said, besides, I've heard you before. Yeah, she has. What a remarkable job she has done. We've had great first ladies, but I can tell you, I love this one. So yeah, MEC, it's been a while. I got involved in the 1990s. I know I don't look that old, but I think I was there before Blake got here. I remember Blake invited me my first speech at MEC to talk about this new thing called a website. Yeah, we had just created one. I was state auditor then, and we didn't have a website. We didn't have a portal, and we created one, and Blake couldn't find anybody else to speak, and he said, well, I'll just get the state auditor. And like most people, he was surprised that I knew that much about IT and how we were going to do paperless audits, and we did, and how now in the state of Mississippi, if you look at Mississippi Works, an award-winning app that the rest of the country now wants. I love to go to national governors meetings now, and they talk about workforce development, and they say, well, how do you keep up with the number of jobs in Mississippi? You always know exactly how many openings you have. Oh, I'm glad you asked. Pull out that iPhone. Mississippi Works. That's where'd you get that? We made it. Oh, yeah, even our apps win awards in Mississippi. And then, of course, education. MEC has been at the forefront of education since as long as anyone can remember. And Blake and Jim Barksdale and Dr. Lori Smith came into my office as Lieutenant Governor and said, we really got this new idea about early childhood education. It's called building blocks. Well, let's get started. And a lot of you were a part of that, supporting building blocks. And now as we move forward, as I was in Washington yesterday, as I spoke last night to the Reagan Institute. Yeah, last night I had to sleep fast, get up real early this morning to make it back here, but I wasn't going to miss this. Not my last MEC. Well, it won't be my last, but last as governor. But as I was so honored last night to speak to the Reagan Institute on education in Mississippi, and being chairman of the Education Commission of the states, telling them how we won the Frank Newman Award, which is the Heisman Trophy for public education, telling them how our third graders went from passing their reading exam from 48% when I came into office, and last time they took their reading exam, third graders, 94% of them passed that test. That's real numbers and real futures. how now we have more children graduating from high school than any time in Mississippi's history. 84% of our students, and we're almost there, 84% now on the national average are graduating from high school. See, that's never happened before. It's happening now. You heard about those 35,000 jobs. Those are jobs that we helped work with the private sector to create through MDA and through our members of the Mississippi legislature that's always been there with us. Every time I go to them and say, I've got another company coming in and I need your help, they step up. It is a bipartisan issue. Economic development, creating jobs. It's not Democrat, not Republican. Every one of them step up. What some remarkable things that have happened. Glenn McCullough and his team at MDA, they've helped create with the private sector those 35,000 jobs, but there's 82,000 more people working today than were working the day I took office. We put a lot of people to work. That's a good thing. Working right here in Mississippi, unemployment's the lowest that it's ever been, 4.7%. It was about 9.4% when I came into office. I didn't do all of these things. I like to brag about it because you don't get to hear the good things about Mississippi. People in Washington, the Reagan Institute calls and says, why don't you come and talk to us because we hear good things about Mississippi. I don't know how it got out, but it's getting out. They're hearing the great things that are happening because of the people in large part in this room. People in this room and those star students back there. Lex and I were talking about making a 35 on the ACT. I think if you doubled mine, I'd get to 34 maybe. Amazing. But these star students and their teachers, that's what makes Mississippi great. Governors come and go. Yeah, but those star students and those teachers, and what you do, MEC, it stays. What you're able to help us do in the Mississippi legislature is we go in and just this year, the Landowner Protection Act, how important that is. You see, every time I go talk to a company now, I can say you don't get penalized just because you own property in Mississippi. We're going to help protect you. Mississippi Infrastructure Modernization Act, $200 million every year, more, $200 million more going into infrastructure every year. How we're leading in health care now. You know, we've got a new medical school. I hear it's a pretty nice one. We got a medical city down in Harrison County at Traditions. We're about to make another huge announcement in addition to that, where there's a brand new pharmacy school, new physicians, the Cleveland's Clinic Obesity and Diabetes Research Center, all of it there. The Mississippi Gulf Coast Nursing Center that'll have about 6,000 students in it. It's a medical city. We just went out in the middle of the piney woods and said, we're going to build a medical city right here because we can, and we're doing it. Great things happen in this state. Talent. How about these young ladies you just heard? Isn't that Mississippi? Didn't you just kiss me in Mississippi? How cool is that? I want one of those T-shirts. Yeah, I'm wearing that everywhere I go. How wonderful this place is. How fortunate it is that 5 years after the founding of this great organization, there's a little boy born in Moorhead, Mississippi. Dad was a diesel mechanic. Mom's parents farmed the land. Grew up with two older brothers. Now that's a character builder, two older brothers. But the opportunities that young country boy had are amazing. Because of this wonderful state, that young man one day became governor of the state of Mississippi. That's the amazing part about this hospitality state that we live in. But the success is not that of the governor or the legislature, or the senators, House members. It's the success of the people. The people of the state of Mississippi will these great things to happen. They allow us in these public offices to do their work. As the sovereigns of this state, they empower us with the ability to join with you in moving this great state forward. So I want to thank you. It's been an amazing time. Now, about the first of the year, Deborah and I are going to try to figure out how to pack up what we've got left. There's going to be a truck pull up, and about the next day, maybe the 4th or 5th of January, I'm going to be homeless and unemployed and loving it. People ask me sometimes, don't you wish you could run again? I said, look, if you want to do this job more than 8 years, you need to see somebody about that. We're going to finish strong. We're going to work to the last day. We're going to make you proud. We're going to continue to make Mississippi great, because that's the wonderful honor that I have of being governor of the greatest state in America. MEC, thank you so much for what you have done for this remarkable state we call home. God bless you all. Minutes this time.
Governor, in your time, I'm sure you've given hundreds of proclamations. We just want to take a moment to give one to you and say thank you for all you've done. Your service to this state, not only as governor, lieutenant governor, state auditor, legislature. We were talking this morning. It's been long, and it's been sincere, and it's made a difference. And thank you so very much.
Thank you, Scott. Blake, you left it in good hands. You guys doing a great job.
And I have one other quick thing I would like to give you.
Yes, sir.
For the First Lady.
I thought this was for her.
We're going to make a contribution in her honor to the Mississippi Center for Medically Fragile Children.
She'll love it.
And I'd like for you to give that to her.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Scott. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you all.